What's going on, guys? I hope you guys are having a fantastic day. I hope you guys enjoyed my last video. I probably should have used a different background than the game room because I do want to branch the channel out and move into some vlog videos, advice videos, life guidance videos, any kind of things that come on my mind that I think about. But anyways, without further ado, I wanted to answer this question. I've got a lot of great questions coming in the comments section and old videos, new videos. And this one's been asked a couple times now, so we're gonna go ahead and address it. So for the thumbnail, I'm not sure what thumbnail I'm gonna use, but I've got my first edition box in there. I think this is kind of the most iconic booster box of all time, is the first edition base set box. This one is not sealed, but it is a nice little reference point. It is an original, authentic box. It is empty, but that was one of the first things that I bought getting back into this hobby. I saw this box and I was like, that box is amazing. I may never be able to afford the first editions, but I can buy that box. And today I do own a lot of those first editions, so I did complete that goal that I set out. This is also a potential that might be in the thumbnail, is this original Yu-Gi-Oh! Booster box. Again, this one is not sealed. It is just a reference point, but this is the original. I've got my 25th celebrate anniversary booster box that is sealed over here, but this is the real deal over here. I have all of the original Yu-Gi-Oh! Booster boxes empty. It's just really cool to own these things, and I never knew if I would be able to afford them. And I didn't realize early on that, hey, this is worth it to spend thousands of dollars on a sealed booster box. It is 100% worth it. That's why we're making this video today. This may also be in the thumbnail. My highly coveted base set unlimited box. This came from an old couple with half of the box's packs, the original plastic seal. I've got the original Wizards of the Coast shop store bag that's over on my wall. And eventually we are going to, at 5,000 subscribers, we are going to crack one of these bad boys open. This is not a box break stream. This is not everybody pitches in and buys packs. These are my packs that I paid really good money for, around $350 at the low to $500 for some of them, mainly the Charizard artworks. Those costed me the most. So hopefully we open it up and we don't get a unlimited holo Clefairy, but that'll be fun at 5K. I'm really looking forward to that. But yeah, just some fun things that we might see in the thumbnail for reference. Anyways, to that point, right now booster boxes have been trending lower. I was talking about the vintage card market, but somebody wanted me to talk about the vintage booster box market and the vintage sealed market, whether you're buying single packs or whether you are buying booster boxes. I think there's a ton of value there, from Topps cards and Topps Chrome, which are amazing Pokemon cards, some of the most high-end Topps cards there are, to, you know, obviously this is a booster box sealed that most people are not going to be able to get their hands on, right? We're talking $300,000, $200,000, you know, a crazy amount of money to spend on a booster box. And I've got my first edition Jungle and Fossil and Neo Revelation and Legendary Collection. I should probably have those down here, but I have them up top. In fact, I'll even tilt this up so you guys can see those. Oi! They're still blurry, but you can see all the stuff there up top. That Legendary Collection booster box is one of my favorite. I really should move it down here. But anyways, I think there is a lot of great value in buying packs, okay? So when I started collecting sealed, I still don't own a sealed vintage booster box. It's one of my collection goals. It is, you know, it is going to be a prioritized collection goal soon, but knowing what's inside the booster boxes and that there's only so many cards that I truly, really want and need to have, it's not pressing for me. If I buy a booster box, it's really because I have the luxury and can afford to buy a booster box and sit on it, and really for it to be a collection piece. I would not really buy vintage booster boxes to resell them. That's just not me. That's not who I am. If I buy these things, I'm stuck with them. I'm sitting on them for a long time because they are a really cool collection piece to have. It doesn't matter what set it is. All of the Pokemon sets are amazing, from first edition sets to, when we get into Neo, Legendary Collection, Base Set 2, they're all amazing. Base Set 2 is really one of my favorites because it has all of the base set Pokemon, and it has the Cosmo Holo effect, which looks amazing on Blastoise, Venusaur, Charizard. They look phenomenal. And they're still in 10s can fetch really good premiums. I think a base set 2 box is around $7,000, $7,500, maybe a little up from there. But during the pandemic, all of these, during the Pokemon boom, all of these boxes were really expensive and felt like they were out of a lot of people's price range. Whereas now, a lot of the stuff has become a lot more affordable. A base set unlimited box is still 15 grand. But I think there have been some listings that have popped up for 12, for 13, and this is also a sketchy thing to invest in because, there's so much scamming, there's so much fraudulent activity going on in the Pokemon and the trading card world in general. I'm sure it happens with Yu-Gi-Oh as well. But it's really tough to put your money on a product like that unless it's somebody really verified that's been doing this for a long time that you can really trust, that has really good feedback from other people buying those kinds of products. I know there was one seller for a while that I was very, very this close to buying a base set unlimited booster box from for 15 grand. They said they would come down to like 13.7, and looking back, I don't see that seller's listings anymore, but they had continuous sales they had like a Wizards of the Coast account. So they had direct distribution from Wizards. So they had basically, they had all this product that didn't sell after Pokemon, Pokemon Mania died out in like, I want to say 2000 or maybe 2002. Pokemon Mania kind of died out and kids were moving on to other things, video games, the consoles. They were moving on to maybe Yu-Gi-Oh or just other things in life in general. But Pokemon kind of fizzled out. And so those distributors, those buyers of that product, from the conversations I've had, they had to sit on that product. They didn't have anybody who wanted to buy it. And then they just kind of forgot about it. Years and years and years went by, and suddenly there was a boom and this stuff was really valuable. And so the guys that just were too lazy to put it up or had the foresight, which I think very few people had the foresight to see that Pokemon was going to be an absolute crazy market that it is today. But it is a very successful franchise today, a lot of which I feel like has to do with Pokemon Go. 2016, I feel like, was the beginning of things really heating up. Even though it's also when sets were sitting on shelves like XY Evolutions. We've talked about that many times. But in terms of vintage boxes, if you can find a reputable seller, vintage boxes are drying up. In my opinion, they are drying up. This is a fact. This isn't a speculation. More and more people are opening boxes. Here's a good one. I think it's like Poketrav or something. Historic opening just happened on YouTube not too long ago. This guy opened a Skyridge booster box, which I'll bring this up. This is why I have these empty boxes also, because I can physically reference these sets. But this is the Skyridge booster box. It's probably the favorite box that I have on display. It is gorgeous, right up there with the Legendary Collection booster box. But yeah, this is my Skyridge booster box. Try to get my head out of here so we can focus on it. But it's got that just amazing shimmer going on. It's absolutely gorgeous. I really wish that it had Charizard on the front, or maybe Umbreon on the front. I don't know. I'm just not a huge fan of Ho-Oh, so I kind of wish it was a different Pokemon on the front. But and speaking of Crystal Ho-Oh, not a lot of these guys on the market right now. Oh, you've got Crobat right there and Kabutops. So these are some of the crystals right here, and then these are some of the holo options right here. Anyways, this is a $55,000 booster box, and this guy just opened one recently. I don't know. And it was, I originally thought he bought it, but it was actually a pack break stream. It was everyone bought packs. I think they were $1,600 a pack, which blows my mind that people were paying $1,600 a pack. Someone did get a Charizard in one of those packs. Absolutely incredible pull. I rarely reference stream videos, but this one came up on my feed. I watched it and I was like, there's no subscribers on this channel, but this is an incredible box to be opened. All this to say that these boxes are drying up. They are being opened up. They are ceasing to exist. And so with that being said, the new generation of collectors may not care about these vintage boxes. So that's the argument kind of against buying vintage sealed is that there's so much growth, you know, with modern boxes. Like I referenced this in another video I did about modern sealed, you know, Evolving Skies. We all know about Evolving Skies. There's so much potential growth in a box like this that a lot of new collectors are growing up with. And beneath that, I've got my Shadowless base set box. So as you can see at this point, I have an unlimited box, my first edition, and a Shadowless box. I think that's pretty cool. And I would love to own those someday, but not looking like it's possible right now. I'm gonna stay optimistic. Anyways, these boxes are really expensive. The new generations kind of may have forgotten about them. I still think there's a movement happening behind the curtains, you know, underneath the surface. I think more and more people are realizing that vintage is the way to go because these cards are drying up. They are not printed anymore. Being out of print is a term that's thrown around a lot in Pokemon, but when it comes to vintage, we're talking about stuff that's been out of print for 2 decades plus, okay? It's never coming back. We may get it in some reprint form, like celebrations, but it's never coming back. And even if we get a reprint like that, probably won't be till 30th anniversary in another couple of years. So, and the reprints will never be what the originals are. And that's one thing that Pokemon is good about not pushing reprints too heavily of cards or of sets. Now with these modern sets, you're seeing that a lot more, but we're talking about vintage here. So when we're coming a step down, okay, let's say, okay, well, Ryan, I'm never gonna buy a box, so this video really doesn't apply to me. That's fine. But if you've ever thought about buying sealed packs, some stuff to talk about here. One, if you're buying sealed packs, you should definitely get yourself a scale. Get yourself a scale so you can weigh those bad boys out. Learn about the pack weights and the variations and the different styles of packs. You know, there's the long crimp, there's the short crimp, there's the air packs. There's so many different styles and arts that somebody listing them may not even realize that. So you want to keep that in mind. And then trusting who you're buying from. Again, this is an issue of trust. At the end of the day, you have to trust who you're buying this stuff from. And a lot of people have been resealing, opening packs, heating them back together. Don't ask me how this is done. You shouldn't be asking me how this is done. But it's happening. I've experienced it, others have experienced it, and it's something that has kept me far away from buying loose packs ever again. And this is one reason why people like the pack streams, because it gives them a chance to get a pack fresh out of a box, which to me lately, I know that there's, you know, maybe tens of thousands of vintage booster boxes still out there. There's plenty of them out there that haven't been opened yet. But to me, I just don't see a lot of vintage booster boxes out in the wild too often. Like when I go to a trade event, I don't see a sealed booster box, okay? No one has that kind of product laying around these days. So to me, it's a very, very special thing. And I think if you have the money and you're willing to even, and this is not the best advice, but it's something that I've done in tight pinches where I really can't afford something, but I buy it anyways because I know that it's a good deal, putting it on a credit card. I know it's not something that you want to fall in the habit of doing, but I do it a lot. Even with my savings set aside, I tell myself, look, I'm going to pay this off weekly. I'm going to sell some stuff. I will figure out how to make this happen instead of telling myself that I can't afford this. This isn't possible. I'm never going to have this. I try and always be optimistic and tell myself that I'm going to figure out how to make this thing work in my favor somehow. And so when it comes to vintage boxes, if you find a really good deal and you want to put that on your card and pay it off over time, that's an incredible collection piece that you can buy. When it comes to these live box breaks and these streams, if it's a reputable person, if the box is sealed, if everything is legit, if you trust them, then I say go for it. You know, depending on what they're asking for the pack costs, look on the market, see what the packs are going for, and then take into account that these packs you may have to pay a premium on them because they're coming out of a box break where you have total reassurance. Now, if someone is just buying random vintage packs and opening them and trying to get people to jump in on their stream to do that, that would be sus to me. I would not put any money into that. But if someone is doing a vintage box break and it's been authenticated, or the person is just very trustworthy. You know, you follow them, you trust what they're doing, and everything. You know, if you're the least bit expert on sealed vintage booster boxes, or just doing your homework and looking, you know, at them, looking at pictures of them, looking at other videos of people way back opening them up, and you can tell that it's legit, then maybe that's something that you should get in on. But yeah, that we just saw an amazing box break last week with the Skyridge box. It absolutely blew my mind. I cannot believe that Skyridge Charizards are still being pulled. Why would that blow my mind? Well, that blows my mind because I have one, and I didn't pay $1,600 to open it up out of a pack. I paid $11,000 to get this bad boy in my collection. And it's definitely one of the nicest things that I've ever owned as far as Pokemon. I'm very proud of it. This was a stressful purchase. I had to sell a lot of stuff. I had to put it on my credit card, and it's been since paid off, but at the time it was very stressful. And I am currently, you know, battling myself with the, you know, conflict of like, I'm in a good place financially versus I really want to, you know, enhance my collection and go after bigger stuff. And that would mean I'm going to have to put stuff on my card and pay it off as I go. What I try to do is I try and keep my savings separate, my retirement, my contributions separate off to the side so that it's never really going down and only building. I try and keep that off to the side, even though I could easily just put something on the card, pay it off immediately. I don't operate that way. The interest is very cheap on my credit card. My credit line has gotten even bigger than it was before. And here's another thing. If you never ask, you will never receive, right? So my credit line went from 7,000, then I asked for more and got it up to 9,000. Then my income level increased and got it up to 18,000. And then recently, last week, I asked for them to increase it again, and we pushed it up to 25,000. And I probably could have pushed for more, but I don't want to give myself the opportunity to go crazy and buy something that I really shouldn't be buying. So we're sitting at 25,000 on my credit line. And why it's really important to have that credit line is if you have a credit line of 5,000 or 7,000, and you put 5,000 on it for one card or two cards or three cards, whatever, booster box, whatever, that's going to make your credit score go down when it updates the following month. If you don't know this, now you know. And I would highly recommend getting a credit card to make these kind of purchases and getting 2% back, because that's what I've done, and it's net me almost $4,000. And this is also groceries, bills, all kinds of stuff on my credit card. But over the last 3 years, I've gotten back $4,000 from that 2% back. So as you can imagine, a lot of money has gone through my credit card. I do try to use it strategically and not be super irresponsible with it. But if that is something that if you have a credit line and you also have the savings to back it, to not put yourself in a terrible position, that's something that I would consider. It's something that I'm probably going to do moving forward. I'll probably, in the future, when I buy booster boxes, put them on my card. I won't break them because I'll really want them as collection pieces and investments. But again, for me, it's hard to tell you guys that vintage sealed is a great investment because I would keep it. It would be so hard for me to just sell that stuff down the road. There are so many liquid, high growth opportunities within modern, which is why everybody and their mother and their grandma is hammering, buy this, buy now. This is the time to buy modern. This is the time to buy this set. You know, really trying to sell us on these sets because people are investing in that. They are, you know, they're putting their money into these modern sets because you get a lot more value, a lot more bang for your buck. And the trajectory is really, there's so much more opportunity with the trajectory of growth there and the value that you can get out of modern. You really don't have that with vintage, unfortunately. Vintage, I feel like vintage is really hitting a ceiling right now. And that doesn't mean that in 5 years, a base set unlimited box won't be $25,000, right? I'm not saying that vintage is not going to explode and have another leg up soon, because that could happen. But right, the market reach for that and the types of people that are going after that product either grew up with it, are hardcore like I am, fanatics like I am. They have to have everything. They are, you know, obsessed with collecting a little bit of everything. Those are the type of people that are going to be going after that thing. And that just isn't the masses. It's not the average collector. So vintage sealed is a really tough thing for me to try and push and talk about, whereas vintage single cards that are valuable, that are grails, that are chase worthy, that are, you know, worth hunting down, those are way less than the cost of a sealed box, and you can get them and they might have some really good growth opportunity or the ability to do a quick flip or a play and make some money off of those cards. Back to single packs. If you're buying heavy packs, those could have some potential for you to have some gains there. If you're winning auctions and you win a pack for less than market, you know, you can take that. Unfortunately, there's no vault process on eBay for packs and sealed product. I wish there was. If there was a vault process on eBay for sealed product, it would revolutionize sealed investing. I'm telling you right now, if eBay was watching this, have an authentication service for sealed booster boxes that are vintage, authenticate them, stamp of approval, and then send them to the vault where you don't pay taxes on a $13,000 base set unlimited box. You're not gonna pay another $1,000 in taxes. Have that go to the vault, then it ships to your house, it's been authenticated, everybody wins. That could be a huge market. But right now, people are having to still take the risk of whether they're buying a legit product. And obviously, you don't have that kind of risk nearly as much so with modern, because modern is very abundant. There's nobody out there who's, I mean, there probably are people out there. I mean, there definitely are people out there that are buying modern empty open boxes and then resealing them, heat shrinking them all over again, maybe even reusing old seals. There are, trust me, there are sleazy people out there doing that kind of thing, because that is just the world that we live in. People are doing that kind of thing. They've been doing that kind of thing in Pokemon. Probably not when it wasn't that big. It wasn't worth it. There wasn't a market for that. But now that it's really popular, you can bet your bottom dollar there are people out there trying to get in over on the little guys that don't know what they're doing. Sealed packs, it is a potential avenue. I think, you know, you have to be careful even with the big name sellers that we know and love. Z&G Emporium, Catch 'em All Collectibles, SM Pratt, I guess I'll throw that out there, Probstein, TCA Gaming. I probably trust TCA Gaming the most, and here's why. Because TCA Gaming, I feel like, is the type of dude, because he authenticates boxes and I just really respect and idolize him. And I have since I got back into this hobby. TCA Gaming, I would say, would probably be a good place for me to buy sealed packs from. In my case, you could say, well, Ryan, why did you buy sealed packs from this old couple? Why did you buy sealed packs, you know, from random people? Well, because, you know, I'm looking at the pictures, I'm looking at the seals, everything looks and checks out. You know, you grow to become more expert on this. And once you get to a point where you've seen enough of these in person, go to a convention, handle a bunch of vintage packs, get a feel for what they look like, what to look out for, what to feel for. All that stuff is really important. If you're going into it blind and you're just buying vintage packs, I feel like you're gonna get burned, okay? And I know this because I bought base set packs for a good deal, and I think it was like $200 a base set unlimited pack, and they literally came apart as I pulled them out of the packaging. They opened up and came apart. Rattle tuned in and was like, nobody uses glue, it was a heat seal. No, idiots, there are still people out there, and I love Rattle, nothing against Rattle, but yes, you would heat seal if you were a professional criminal scam artist, but there are still idiots out there that are gluing these packs together, and I was lucky enough to buy my first batch of re-sealed base set unlimited packs that were glued together, and it was very cold out, and so I suspect they came apart because the glue hardened and it separated in transit. Anyways, I pulled the packs out and they literally opened up, and I let eBay know I got my money back. I sent that crap back. That was a really, really cool experience to learn from, and it gave me a reality check. I was very, very lucky to get scammed early on, because it gave me a reality check that, like, this is not a safe space to invest in. Vintage sealed is compromised, and you know, unless you're buying from somebody reputable that is going to authenticate the stuff, or they have tons of sales, they've been selling sealed vintage product for a long time. It's just, the problem is it's not always that their intention is going to be to screw you over. Sometimes people that are in the hobby long term, they're just buying up vintage packs, and they're like, you know, at the convention, vendors were saying, oh, whatever I buy, don't tell me if it's weighed or not, I buy it unweighed price. They want to say that it's unweighed. They want to market these packs as unweighed so that you take on the responsibility, you take on the risk, you take on the mystery, which I think a lot of people definitely think that there's value in the mystery of what's this pack gonna weigh at? If I put it on this scale, what's it gonna weigh at? I think it's kind of silly and stupid, people weighing modern packs. I think it's stupid, but I'm sure there's a rhyme or reason, even though from what I understand, Pokemon is trying to do a better job of making that less able to do. And if you are talking about weighing modern packs, promoting weighing modern packs, let's find out if we can weigh these modern packs. All that's doing is perpetuating in this hobby and the community that people are doing this. Maybe you should do this. This is a way you can find out what packs have the good stuff and what packs don't matter, so you can put that off on the little guys that don't know any better and screw them over. I really don't like what weighing packs perpetuates, and I understand why vendors are so careful to say, is it unweighed? Like they don't even want to know. They want nothing to do with whether it's weighted, heavy, whatever. They want nothing to do with that, in my opinion. And that's why. They don't want to be associated with scamming or having issues down the road. But when it comes to buying vintage packs, it's very important to understand the dichotomy of unweighed versus a heavy pack. A confirmed heavy pack that is a certain amount of grams. For base set unlimited, it's easy. Base set unlimited, anything below, I want to say 20.8, typically 20.8 I feel like is the threshold. 20.7, 20.8 where it's not heavy, but there have been variations. There have been people who've gotten lighter packs with hollows. So it's all about the pack weights that come directly out of the box themselves. Guys, it's a lot of information. It's a lot of knowledge that comes with long-term collecting and understanding how these things work. I don't feel qualified, even at this point in my collecting journey, I don't feel qualified to tell you guys, hey, you should be buying vintage sealed packs. You should be buying Jungle First Edition and Fossil First Edition and Rocket First Edition. No-brainer buys. If you're gonna buy this stuff, some options, you know, some possibly lucrative options or possible options to get the full experience of a vintage booster box without the hassle of whether it's legitimate, authentic, or, you know, you're gonna get scammed. These box breaks are interesting. I'm not really for them, but that's mainly because I don't understand how people could just buy into packs from a stranger on the internet. But I guess it's no different than buying a pack off of eBay. It just seems like some of these box break prices are a little bit high. But anyways, I think that's a great way, especially with established collectors and sellers, you know, like big names like probably Pokerev or Danny Phantom or Rattle if he did a box break, or, you know, again, TCA Gaming is a great one. Or even if, you know, Z&G Emporium, if they did some kind of box break, or just bigger channels that these guys want to give back to the community. They want to open stuff up and not get burned financially on it. So everybody kind of pitches in and we all collectively open boxes. I think that's kind of the future of vintage sealed collecting. I think a lot of people are just not going to buy vintage sealed because it's just in a whole other stratosphere of price. So they're likely to just do box breaks. And so while I don't feel great recommending that, being a part of box breaks is probably your best chance to get in on vintage openings and really get something unique and cool. But again, it's not the same as opening the pack yourself. Seeing somebody else open that pack is not the full experience. It honestly would be really hard for me to watch somebody open the Skyridge pack and get the Charizard. It would be so hard for me to watch that and know that that could have been a pack that I opened at home. But then again, some people are private. They don't want people to see them opening stuff. They don't want to make videos. They would rather somebody do it for them and get it on the action. Some people are really more investors or gamblers. Really, they just want to get in on the gamble and the investment side of it. And so they're like, nope, you open it. I've got other things to do. Maybe they're just busy and they have other more important things to do, so they let the streamers do it for them and open up stuff for them. That's, you know, something very interesting to me. But I do think that, you know, there's plays and really amazing opportunities and experiences still to be had out there from buying vintage packs. A while ago, I talked about this, about how, you know, it may still be worth it to buy vintage heavy packs and open them up to try and go for gold. There are some Instagram profiles that I follow that I don't know off the top of my head, but people who have opened vintage heavy packs, they're buying them online, they're buying them privately from people they trust. You know, they're buying them from well-established, good reputation sellers that don't care about what's in the pack. You know, the type of seller that you want to buy from is somebody in this hobby that has everything. They've opened all the sets. They have everything. They have no reason to screw you over. They've already seen it all. You know, they want people to open a heavy pack and get something amazing. That's as good as it gets. And we still see that in the hobby. We still see people participating in that. Hey, my dad's here right now. Diana? Anyways, that's my dad. All the dogs are barking, so I should probably let you guys go. Peace out. I just wanted to say, guys, quiet! Diana, can you get that? I'm coming. All right, he's at that door. Thank God they stopped barking. Okay, what I did want to say is, like Leonhardt, for example. Okay, everybody knows Leonhardt. Okay, he's one of the biggest Pokemon channels, or was, maybe. I'm not sure if he's doing content as much. I honestly haven't seen any of his stuff. I don't know if it's just not popping up in my feed or what, but there was this stream I watched a while back because, you know, when I was looking at EX Deoxys and, you know, going after the Gold Star Rayquaza, and he does a break with a guy. He sells a guy a couple heavy Deoxys packs, and the guy is just nothing. And then bam! Gold Star Rayquaza in one of the last packs. And so Leonhardt was a part of that. He kind of middleman that deal. And I guarantee you, in Leonhardt's mind, he was like, damn it, that Rayquaza was sitting in that pack. But the guy already practically has everything. He has no reason to really care about, you know, somebody opening a pack and getting the gold that he might have gotten had he opened those packs. So there's people high up in the hobby that sell packs for a premium, that are streamers that have, you know, a decent enough reputation or notoriety, I guess, or fame, whatever you want to call it. And they've opened up they had people open up packs for them and legitimately pull absolute bangers. Logan Paul, we might not be the biggest fan of Logan Paul, even though I want to say he's done a lot for the hobby in terms of its, you know, fandom, and, you know, it being a popular fad again. Or maybe I shouldn't use fad, maybe that's the wrong use. But anyways, whether you like or hate the guy, irrelevant here. He did a box break. They pulled a first edition Charizard. Pretty amazing stuff. You know, so there are opportunities when people that are in a different level, you know, of wealth and income, when they open up these products and pull insane stuff, you know, it can be pretty amazing. So anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video of me kind of ranting about vintage sealed. It's a touchy topic for me. I don't feel great telling people to put a ton of money into that product when I feel like there's just way more growth opportunity in modern. But this is why, you know, I talked about, you know, how it was kind of frustrating to me seeing so many of the same thumbnails and the same videos talking about modern sealed product. But that's why, because everyone is just finding it very easy in the search terms and getting the views and getting the clicks. It's very easy with modern because modern has so much growth and so much opportunity. So it's no wonder why people are trying to make videos about it over and over and over and over again. When I do a video that's talking about modern sealed or modern cards or modern boxes you should buy, I try and refrain from saying like, buy this now, or this set's about to explode, or this is your last chance. Like, I try not to sell you hard on these sets, but I do believe that there's potential, and I will be talking about that moving forward. Those are the type of videos that do very, very well. But for me, as I talked about in the previous video that I uploaded, talking about a hodgepodge of things and my YouTube journey, that I want to branch out. I don't want to be, even at the risk of losing subscribers or losing a following, I don't want to be shackled to doing the same content over and over and over and over again. So I'm going to push myself to use my sunroom, do a different type of environment where it's kind of an empty background and it's just me talking about certain things, struggles that I'm having, things I'm going through in life, how the bar business is doing, getting a little bit more personal with you guys and kind of opening up a little bit more. But there will still be videos coming. I will still be doing those videos. I will still be doing updates on modern sets. We'll be talking about Pokemon. If you guys have any suggestions, any questions, any comments, concerns, critiques, just leave them in the comments section. I actually read and respond to every single comment. I care about what you guys have to say. That's what makes this channel enjoyable. That's what allows me to engage you guys. So it's very important for me to see those comments and read what the people want. This video today was created and basically brought up by somebody kind of reinforcing, hey, we'd like to hear about the vintage sealed market. And so after a couple comments left like that, I finally made this video. So when you guys leave comments, it sometimes leads into me making content. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. It's been a real one. I'll see you guys soon. I do want to say, and then I'll let you guys go, we do have our live stream tonight. That is not changing. I want to keep that going no matter where this channel goes, no matter what we're doing. It's just a fun thing. It's just, we have a good time. We chop it up. Hopefully the stream doesn't have any issues. So I'll see you guys later tonight. We want to open more 151, but I'm not going to break my display case of bundles open. So I'm going to have to find some deals. Maybe Best Buy will be where I get a couple booster bundles and we can open it up that way. We're only 2 cards short. We are so close to completing a master set by opening, and I mean a master set. I went through all of my 151 bulk recently, and we are 6 reverses left from completing the entire set. So 6 reverses, the hyper rare Mew, and the that might even be including, it might be 4 reverses and then the hyper rare Mew and the Nidoking. So we're very, very close to completing this set. But tonight we will be opening Paldean Fates. We'll be opening a box or a couple boxes of Paldean Fates. I'll do a community post on that so everybody knows when we'll be doing it, when that'll be up. And we'll probably open a Heavy Hitters Sam's Club box too, because why not? What the heck? Tons of Sword and Shield packs in there. That's probably one of my better modern sealed investments in terms of just like value and all of the different packs. But so far, we're not getting the best hits out of those boxes. I just want one more box where we pull an alt art and then I'm done with it. I'm probably gonna leave the rest sealed. But anyways, peace out guys. I'll catch you on the next one. I'll see you live tonight for that stream so we can open up some packs. Have a good time. Peace.